this because I'm someone who's extremely close to Munif. Munif, you agree, me and you are freaking close. We spend a lot of time together. We spend a lot of time talking together. And as someone who made a name for himself as a closer, I look at you and I've seen Munif on the Daily Dial. I've seen him on the Nightly Dial. I've seen him on the Closers Olympics. I've seen him call sellers live, like being in physical proximity to Munif, like being 2 feet away from him. And one thing that always boggles my mind when I look at him in the moment, you always think, God dang, this guy just has so much raw talent. Like this is the most naturally talented person I've ever seen, in this space. Um, and then I always have to take a step back and remind myself that Munif was on the Daily Dial every single day before I even joined Sub 2, before I even got into real estate. So the reality is there is this perceived notion that Pace Morby, who is truly, truly gifted with what he does, and Munif, who is also extremely gifted with what he does. But they've put in the hours. They've put in, I don't know how many thousands and thousands of reps. Munif, you and I, we were on Twitch the other day and we spoke about this. We spoke about finding your superpower. Munif, in my opinion, I would say your superpower is talking to people at its core. Do you think that is a fair assessment?
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
So, but the reality is, you tell us your story. You were phenomenal at talking to people in the beginning when you were a kid and you got in trouble at school, but then you got into real estate and you're hanging up on role plays. So maybe talking to people, talking to sellers at that time may not be your superpower, but we said this. Logan, Munif, if you didn't know, you can't see it because he's cut off by the camera. Logan is chiseled out of marble. This man is a physical beast. And there is an element to uncovering your greatness through consistent, measurable action day in, day out. And Logan, Munif and I talked about how you're not just born with your superpower and it's manifested. You got to put in the hours and put in the time to train and find it and really polish it. And I look at Munif now, and this is the result. This ease this perceived ease that Munif has when he talks to people. It is the result of countless hours, countless trainings, countless putting himself into uncomfortable positions. And there is so much to say about that. But Munif, I want to ask you this because you are also a host and a coach on the Daily Dial now every Thursdays, right? There's there's 50, 60, 70, 100 students there every single day. And at least half of them are probably in the background, not raising their hands because they are afraid. And they look at you and they look at how easily you do this. Do you have anything to say to those people who are there in the backgrounds, waiting, hoping they can put their hand up, but they're not able to find the courage to do it yet?
Yes. You must make a promise to yourself. This is, or there must be some kind of pressure where you must perform, you must produce. So for me, it was, all right, I lose this game. Business is not for me if I don't do this. That was my promise to myself. And even the Closers Olympics, I didn't want to do it. People asked Elena Tang, Elena. Mm-hmm. She actually mentioned, she commented on my Instagram post, hey, Munif, you need to try out for the Closers Olympics. I actually have the messages. No, Elena, not this year. I'm really busy. With my business, blah, 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 blah. But it was a lie. I was scared. I was lying to myself. You know what I mean? When I'm busy. I was scared. I should have just said I was scared and just been open. But when I think about it, I was very scared. Then what happened is Pace Morby on Wholesale Hotline bets $10,000 I'll place top 3. Like by my name, he says Munif will place top 3 in the Closers Olympics if he competes. Now this is pressure. This is, how do I back out? How do I not? I have to, right? I must compete. I was pissed when he did this. I was excited and I was pissed because he never told me. He never asked me. He just put it out into the world. And now he challenged all these other people, right? This is way above me now. Now it's not just about me and me being afraid. It's like I'm representing something bigger than myself. You understand?
Yeah.
So how can I not? So I had to. I had to try out. I had to compete. I stopped my business. Sam knows this. I stopped my business, and from morning to night, all I did was I timed myself talking to sellers. Like this, I didn't just show up to the closed Olympics and just like wait like weeks. I think I had like 2 or 3 week prep time where I just like he tells everybody while it's a couple weeks out. I'm like, holy shit! I do the tryouts and I actually make it in the tryouts, which I was like, no way. Now it's like I have a couple weeks before the event, so I stream my training. I think I still have my calls somewhere saved, and I do these 30-minute shot clocks, and I just tell people, give me your leads, I'll talk to them for free. I actually got contracts during this, and I trained. I had a setup. I called sellers. I dialed, and I just 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes, and there's just calibration and practice, calibration and practice. I remember those days. It was like 9 in the morning till 6 in the evening, and it's different because talking to sellers all day is one thing, but practicing for this high intensity event with the timeline and then what I did is like I had the audience give me points, like my viewers would like score me, and I just trained. And my cousin Faisal, the same Faisal I dragged out from back then, who's Sam's current partner, he drove 5.5 hours from Pittsburgh to support me. So he helped me train, and he helped me calibrate. And I remember the last 30-minute session before the close of the Olympics, we like did this awesome session, and we high-fived. We were like, I'm calibrating. And then I did it, and then what you saw on the screen where people were, oh wow, it's like, no, I practiced really hard, and then I meditated, and I literally practiced to be calm and relaxed. Like I actually put a lot of effort into not only the skill set, but like the mindset. And I went in with the mindset of I'm going to win and I'm going to be relaxed. So there's a lot of this behind the scenes that go on because, you know. But yes, this is what I would tell somebody watching. I would say.